The joke that we have at Hasseman Marketing is I'll come up with some crazy ass idea, and the more crazy it is, somebody will yell, "Write it down!" Like write it down, because that's an idea we should be doing. Write it down. That's the idea.
I think that's a good one.
Every supplier should do it.
Heyo, put me in, coach. I'm ready to play and broadcast as we kick off episode number 114 of the Promo UPFront Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Bill Petrie. With me, as always, the captain of condiments himself, the one and only Kirby Hasseman. Kirby, how the Kashakton are you today?
I'm doing well, man. I'm taking a lot of deep breaths, a lot of balls in the air, a lot of plates spinning. And, as I've said to my wife, a lot of good stress in my life going on, but stress nonetheless. So just trying to take a lot of deep breaths and keep things rocking and rolling. How about you, bud?
Doing okay. Still lingering COVID. As you know, you get COVID. It's like luggage. You never really get rid of it. So right. I feel like I've got this lingering cough, and it just it's taken a while to go. I feel a lot better. I felt a couple days ago, didn't feel so great. It's just go up and down. But other than that, feeling great. You know what I was thinking, Kirby? It's really hard to believe that September has already begun, which means cooler temperatures are right around the corner. I think you already know that. Sure. Thankfully, we have COVID cough. Thankfully, we have a supplier in the promotional products industry that not only has inventory on some fantastic fall merchandise, but is stable, strong, and secure, which I think you and I would both agree very important these days. Very. Kirby, I'm talking about our friends at Blue Generation. You probably already knew that before I even said the words Blue Generation.
I had a feeling.
They have so many amazing apparel for autumn to choose from, including some of the following: fully custom sublimated hoodies. You can make a statement with your style, fully customizable. Micro fleece jackets, vests, and pullovers. Keep you warm on those cool nights. And we've talked before about the Untucked collection, that casual elegance in the office or out on a town. Kirby, I've got one single question for you that I need your answer here at your time of your choosing. Kirby, is there a better apparel supplier to partner with when it comes to fashion-forward, retail-inspired merchandise and Blue Generation?
I can't think of one. Buddy. And let me just tell you, I'm sure the folks at Blue Generation agree. You do a heck of a job telling their story. So kudos.
Well, I appreciate that. They're great people. Hey, they're great people. They've got great products and apparel. And I love the fact that they really come from that fashion world in New York City. That's part of their story. 3 generations, over 77 years, I believe. Great stuff. So for over, for that many years, over 3 generations, Blue Generation understands how to combine quality, style, comfort, and cost effectiveness. It's really quite the tapestry they've woven there. Their stability combined with their deep inventory makes Blue Generation the only choice for autumn apparel. Check them out at bluegeneration.com. Kirby, are they going to be sorry they did?
They will not be sorry they did.
All right, Kirby, I've got the upfront section of the podcast today, and there are so many topics in the world of promotional products. I had to condense them into what I'm calling promo community quick hits. All right.
Okay. I love it.
All right. Congratulations to all the rising stars. There's our rising stars discussion. All of them. Javier Melendez is one of the ones that I know you and I know very well.
Yes.
There's a few Keisers from Keister and Blair on there. Quite a few people. Congratulations. Those are always great people to watch. I think you would agree.
Yeah, I wrote the only thing I would say is this is the list that I always look at and go, okay, if I am not connected with these folks, I need to be connected with them. So I will be reaching out. So if you are on that list and we are not connected, please feel free to invite me. I will invite you. Kudos and congrats.
And maybe I'll be invited. Yeah, so there's a lot of inviting going on.
Yeah.
Kid.
Yeah.
All right. Number 2, Keister named as the regional liaison of the PPAI board. I can't think of a better advocate for the regional community than Keister. I think we're all probably pretty happy she's not a service provider because it wouldn't have happened. But very, very COVID cough. Joking aside, really, she couldn't be a better pick for that position. And I love the fact that there is always that regional voice on the PPAI board.
Yeah, so I've known Kara for many years. We actually were served together on the OPA board for several years as well. When this email came across and I saw her lovely face jump up in my email box, I was like, oh, that is perfect. I'm so excited for Kara because I think this is something that she was excited to do. This is something we've talked about, she and I, for a long time. And then I'm also excited for the industry because I think she'll do a great job.
Yeah, I'm excited for everybody involved. So congratulations to PPAI, great decision there. Congratulations to Kara, and congratulations to the industry. We got a great board coming up. All right, and the third one I want to talk about, and this one I want to dig a little deeper in.
Okay.
Pardon me there. Rob Watson is heading over to Zing Manufacturing. He was previously at ASI many years ago, then Vantage Apparel for a while, Image Group most recently. He's going to be a VP there, but I want to dissect this a little bit because what I found interesting is what he's going to be doing at Zing. And Zing is owned by Bamco, if people don't know that.
Okay.
His charge and focus is this: the creation of a next generation customer experience that offers the industry's best buying experience through tech-enabled real-time transparency into inventory, ordering, decoration, and delivery. Now, a lot of word salad there.
Right.
So I'm going to break it down because I like the idea of somebody focused on the overall customer experience. I think you and I both agree that's a really cool thing to do. So tech-enabled, real-time transparency. To me, that's a data share, right?
Yeah.
Which I love. I wish more suppliers had real-time inventory on their websites. I know you wish that.
It's the kind of thing that we are like starting to seek out. Like if suppliers don't have that, some sort of inventory, it's like I'm struggling to sell them because I'm like, well, how can I trust it? You know what I mean? So
absolutely. Well, and our friend, we just mentioned him a few minutes ago, Javier Melendez, from Walker Clay. He had just said something on a TikTok, which the only way I see a TikTok is if he takes it and posts it somewhere else. So, but he said something basically along the lines of, hey, it's really frustrating when a supplier doesn't have real-time inventory because during the selling hours, I'm selling. And so I might be 10 o'clock at night sitting in front of the TV and I can't find inventory. It's hampering the way he sells. And I think suppliers need to listen to that.
So that's great.
So so the tech-enabled real-time transparency for inventory, stocking levels. Okay, ordering. So to me, that's communication throughout the order process. And with every supplier, your mileage may vary in terms of what communication means or doesn't mean. The one I thought was interesting is they mentioned here, decoration. And I thought, are they going to live stream like the decoration process or film it so you could share it with your client? And I started going down this rabbit hole in my brain. Like, I'm not sure if I think that's the most genius thing ever. If someone does that, or why would you ever do that? Why would you want to do that? And I think I've fallen on the side of, I think it'd be pretty cool if you could get a little 10-second snippet of a video of a sew out or of a screen print or of a pad print. So you can say, hey, I want to let you know, Mr. Customer, your order is in production. And here's a little video to show you. To me, I think that's genius if someone does that.
So it's funny when you first said it, I was like, oh, are you doing it for a marketing piece where it's like you regularly do that? And I was like, my first thought was it's cool, but man, you're going to need a lot of permissions if you're doing all that sort of thing. But the idea that if you could get a quick snippet and literally just email it, you've already approved the proof. So then now you add a layer in, so email and say, hey, this is in production. Here's a video of it being printed. That would be pretty badass, actually.
Yeah, like a 5-second GIF, right? Because those are smaller files and might repeat, but just of a pad print or a screen or I like that. And I don't know if that's what Rob is going to be doing at Zing, but I think that would be really cool. Again, just that 5 little second snippet, put it on a website, email it to a client. What a cool thing to do.
Okay, so can I just say that if that's not what they're doing, that's what they should be doing, and take like literally for our, what do you say, 2 or 3 listeners? Like seriously, write that. The joke that we have at Hasseman Marketing is I'll come up with some crazy ass idea, and the more crazy it is, somebody will yell, write it down. Like write it down, because that's an idea we should be doing. Write it down. That's the idea.
I think that's a good one.
Every supplier should do it.
I think that's a good one.
Yeah.
All right, last one, and then they talk about Rob's going to focus on delivery, and I think my guess is going to try to mirror Amazon a little bit, in terms of which I think a lot of suppliers are really trying to do, not only in terms of tracking numbers, and we'll get you tracking numbers right away, but
Sure.
maybe some sort of proof of delivery photography or something like that. I don't know, but
Yeah.
I thought it
I
was
was
very
actually
interesting.
picturing him on a bicycle, just making sure that all the packages got delivered. So that's what I thought it
That
meant.
I like that. I like that. Anyway, so really interesting that he's focusing on that next generation customer experience. And I think you're going to see a lot more of this in our industry, both on the supplier side, but also on the distributor side. And again, maybe the idea here is do some sort of little video of
I'm
stuff
telling
getting
you,
decorated.
that's the home run of this right here.
All right, Kirby. Well, I don't know about you. I gotta amp this up. Gotta amp. I gotta do it. I gotta do it. All right, distributors, is your marketing working? Well, if you don't know, yeah, if you're doing the little shruggy dude, if you don't know, then that's a problem. You got to reach out to our friends over at Promo Pulse because they can help you consistently amplify your sales through stunningly beautiful outbound marketing that's so easy. You customize it, you set it, and you forget it in 5 minutes. That's right. That's right. Want to learn more? Sorry, you did. All right, Kirby, you got another topic for us?
Yeah. So as we're recording this, Apple did their release that
Mm-hmm.
of new products. They did that
Mm-hmm.
yesterday, and they came out with some new products. They upgraded the Apple Watch. They've done the phone. I honestly, I don't mean to take shots, but I don't think that I'm an Apple guy, and I don't know that they've done something that was a purely innovative product in 10 years. And that's fine,
No.
but that's not why I'm bringing it up. Although they did,
Yep.
there was plenty of fanfare. It was all over. Kudos for them for making a big deal about it. But actually, the thing that I thought would be interesting for a topic here today
Yeah.
is that they sort of have announced, they've um, essentially said that they are going to do something that they've been avoiding for years, which is selling online advertising. So,
Okay.
and you can say, hey, well, it was coincidental, right? That they've all of a
Mm-hmm.
sudden started doing the tracker and kind of essentially making harder for
Right.
Facebook to track people. And all of a sudden now they're going
Right.
to be selling ads. Um, I think this is interesting. I think it's a new place for them to boost revenue.
Yeah.
And they're saying, look, theirs is going to be different. And so far it is. But I guess I wanted to get your take on the idea that now Apple would utilize their platform to sell online advertising to you. Do you think
Yeah.
this is, and I guess we can look at it from a marketing perspective, you can sell it from a
Yeah.
consumer perspective. But what do you think of this?
It's part of the reality of our frontier right now, isn't it? I mean, really, we are the product. Our data is the product, and micro targeting in terms of advertising is where advertisers want to be.
Mm-hmm.
That's why whenever you install a new app, if you're an Apple person, I don't know what it's like on a Google platform, but when you install a new app, you can have the app track your activity so that your ads can be a little more tailored to you, or you can ask the app not to track. And which always sounds weird to me. Hey, would you please not track me? I'm going to do it anyway. I mean, you're asking them. It's not like you're barring them from doing it. So I think
That's funny.
I think the reality is, whenever a company makes a statement of we're not going to do things like that, always add a comma in right now.
Yeah.
Because look, Apple stock is plummeting. It has been. People are a little tighter with their money, so the normal rush for a brand new iPhone that's a little upgraded, the camera's a little better, the battery's a little better, whatever. And look, I'm an Apple phone guy, mainly because I'm lazy. I don't want to learn a new operating system. Um, but I think you they have to find different ways to boost their stock, quite honestly, because I don't think as many people are going to be buying new phones this year because inflation has been so high. And the one thing I did notice yesterday, for the first time in ever, their phones didn't go up in price, which tells me their profits on those phones are stupid ridiculous.
Yeah.
But they held prices even
Yeah.
for the brand new phone. So I think it doesn't surprise me. It doesn't bother me one way or the other. I think I've come to terms with the fact that my data is sold in ways I will never even fathom. And I probably missed the boat in really protecting data, like having a specific email account for advertising and things like that. It is what it is. So
Yeah.
to me, it's an inevitability, to answer your question.
Yeah. And I think that you're probably right. It's funny, for years, when I was doing more driving, ironically, I'm driving less now, but when I was doing all the driving, I always thought, man, the app, the map apps are missing such an obvious advertising revenue, that I'm driving down the road and that McDonald's isn't showing up on the map. Or, just from a logo perspective, that you could buy specific, by the exit, hey, there's a BW3s over here, or Whataburger or whatever. I'm like, I've thought for years, why would they not do that? That doesn't make any sense to me. That's just, you're just leaving dollars on the table. So I think in some ways it'll make sense, and done right, it could be not that intrusive.
100%.
And that's when it'll really, I think, be effective. Because if you're doing pop-up stuffs, annoying. But if it's just a logo, it'd be great.
Agree. And with your example, Waze, which I've used for years as a navigation tool, has had that. Like, they would sell advertising. You'd see a Dunkin' Donuts.
Okay.
Did I just call advertising? What am I? All of a sudden, Christopher Walken? They sell advertising. But you'd have a Dunkin' Donuts logo coming up and things like that. So, and now that Apple owns Waze, maybe that's one of the ways they're really going to integrate that. Because I think your point is a very, very good one. Honestly, I find that type of advertising helpful.
Yes.
How about that for a concept, kids?
Yeah. Well, I guess that's my thing, is I've always thought, well, this is A, it's a no-brainer because it's revenue, and B, it sure would be helpful as I'm driving down the road. Because, as a complete side note, there is nothing more annoying to me on a road trip than when there's a sign that says that there's all these restaurants, and you get off at the exit and they're not there. You have to drive 3 miles into town.
Oh, it drives me bananas.
I'm like, you are all bastards, and I'm getting back on the highway, and I'm going to go find a place where there's actually a restaurant right off.
And there's your opener for this week. All right, Kirby, good conversation. All right, let's talk about community college skeet shooting. No, that sounds dumb. Let's talk about things you can cook in an air fryer. No, that sounds dumb. All right, here we go. Kirby, Heinz, the ketchup people, have a vintage drip collection. Have you seen this?
I wanted to talk about skeet shooting, but whatever, that's fine.
Well, I think, by the way, that's a great insult for someone. Hey, you're a vintage drip. Anyway, so Heinz has started the vintage drip collection. So they've teamed up with a vintage clothing brand called ThreadUp to release purposely ketchup stained shirts. Okay. It's a first of its kind fashion line featuring 157 pieces. It was very limited run here. 157 secondhand streetwear and designer pieces, each with a unique Heinz ketchup stain. It's sold exclusively through ThreadUp's website, and the tagline is, because when it's Heinz, it's not a stain, it's a statement. So the stains on the stains are really ketchup, so they're going to fade over time as you wash them. The Heinz brand manager, the ketchup brand manager, said, "We saw an opportunity to view the stain as we've been we saw an opportunity to view the stain we've been leaving on clothes as another iconic brand symbol and change the narrative. This collection is about sustainably creating the character Heinz ketchup stains add to apparel, inviting our fans to embrace an iconic new symbol." I have a couple questions here. Okay. Is this promo? I mean, is that promo number one? So yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Number two, is this made in the USA if the garment is made elsewhere, but the ketchup is made in America, and therefore the decoration of the ketchup stain is produced in America, and ideally the value add is here in the United States? Is that USA made?
So I actually really like the way we said this a couple of podcasts ago. And when I say we, it was you, that it was, the shirt wasn't made in the USA. It was
Yeah.
designed and decorated in the USA. And I think that's fun.
Yeah.
And that's cool.
Yeah. So, but the real thing is, okay, so this is fun, little gimmicky, cute, whatever. We're talking about it. It's 157 clothing pieces. So, I mean, this is a completely limited run. Is this really a movement, though? I mean, or is this just a brilliant marketing campaign that we happen to be talking about, that they're purposely taking Heinz ketchup, squirting it on a shirt and saying, hey, here's some Heinz stained apparel?
Now, are there anything else on it, or is it just blank goods with ketchup on it? I'm just curious.
From what I can tell, Kirby, it's blank goods with it almost looks like someone took a paintbrush and just like created what a dribble might look like, and then you wipe it in, type thing.
Okay.
A lot of the apparel seem to be white or lighter in color.
Okay.
And so there's no Heinz logo anywhere. There's no branding.
Okay. So
it's just a shirt with a ketchup stain.
Okay. So what I would say is, and I'm not sure this is the question you asked, but like, I think that's a little bit of a missed opportunity. I think that something on the shirt to sort of explain it. One of the things that I know Charity and Gibson has talked about a lot, and you've talked about, is this seems like an opportunity to not put Heinz in a big thing on here, but maybe it's a message. Maybe it's something from their mission that talks about, again, I'm literally making this up, but something about, sometimes life is messy, or, and then maybe the Heinz logo's back here. To me, that would be because nobody's going to get it outside of the person who purchases it. You're missing the opportunity to tell the story. So that would be my thought. That being said, I've seen a couple things from Heinz here lately that I think are really good from an advertising perspective. So I'm not sure who the new marketing director is or CMO there, but like their ad campaign, when they asked all those people to draw ketchup, have you seen that? It's an ad campaign where they literally asked all these people to draw ketchup, and they all drew Heinz in a different way. I was like, that's powerful. What I would say is the stuff I've seen from them here recently has been really cool.
Yeah, the marketing there is great. They know that a lot of people use ketchup as fake blood over Halloween, so they're selling blood ketchup. It's just ketchup, but it's just branded differently. They want to be the first ketchup in paper bottles for renewability and recyclability, which great stuff. But I think this is a horrible missed opportunity. I love the idea. I think the idea is absolutely freaking brilliant, but the execution is flawed in thousands of ways. If I was doing, I think the idea of having a stain on a shirt is funny. But have it be a fake stain. I don't want to buy food. I'm sorry. I don't want food on my clothing. That's inherently the way I'm wired. I get something on my shirt, I want to wash it off. But if it was an intentional red screen print that looked like a ketchup stain, and it said Heinz, and it had the tagline of "It's not a stain, it's a statement."
Oh, I love that.
Now you've got me. Now you've got me.
Yeah.
You sell those shirts, you sell them in small, large, medium, extra, all those things. And it's not a stain, it's a screen print. So it's never going away. That to me is how this campaign should have been run. I love the idea. The idea is absolutely brilliant. And I know they wanted to tie it into sustainability by using recycled clothes. I'm sorry. I think you missed a really big opportunity here.
Well, and again, nothing to say you can't do it again. I will say that the idea of it being actual ketchup, I actually don't mind that. I think that's kind of fun. Again, but tell the story. Like, because again, if I wear that shirt, you don't think it's a statement. You think it's a stain. You know what I mean?
Right. Right. That's why I think, unfortunately, you have to look at your target audience sometimes and realize they're not as quick and sharp and witty as you are. And that's why I think you need the tagline on the Heinz logo. And, it's not a stain, it's a statement. I think that makes all the sense in the world. But great conversation. All right, Kirby, do you have a final topic for us? I wonder what it could be.
Yes, that's right. We're going to get back to our gambling for good. That was credit where credit is due. This was Bill's idea. And he kind of came up with this concept, and I jumped on board because it's less preparation I have to do. But can I just say that this actually made it much more fun for me to watch college football this past weekend, because I was all of a sudden, I gave a shit about Utah, Florida, mad that mine didn't work out that way. But so it was really, really fun. And so I'm really glad you did this. So we, in the interest of transparency so far, Bill is winning. He is up 4-3 in the games. And we would have flipped if Utah, who was ranked, would have beat Florida, but that's fine. whatever.
Kirby, if ifs and nuts were candy and nuts, we'd all have a Merry Christmas. Didn't happen. Don't care. We're in week 2.
That's
I think
fair.
we're doing 3 college and 3 NFL games this week, right? Because it's NFL kickoff weekend.
Yes,
all
that's
right.
exactly right. So we've got some, and Bill has picked these games, and so for some strange reason that only he understands, he didn't have Alabama Texas on here, so we're not gonna pick
I'll
that game.
explain why. It's an uninteresting game for people who don't hate the University of Texas, because Alabama's going to put a beat down on them. Now, I will watch that game, Kirby, and I'm going to watch every second of that game. It's a noon kickoff Eastern time. That's 11 a.m. Central, and I hope it's the only time I'll ever root for the University of Alabama or the Crimson Tide. I can't stand them. My son goes there. I still hate the school. I don't hate the school, but I hate the team, certainly. But I want the University of Alabama Crimson Tide to put a beat down on the University of Texas so bad that fans feel it in Austin for generations. I want to be 100-2, and I want that safety to be just the quarterback running in the back of the end zone because he's bored. I want Texas to lose in ways that they will feel for generations.
All right, good. I'm glad I got the chance to set you up for that. Okay, so let's go to week 2. So
all right, week 2.
So we're going to start with college, and so Tennessee, ranked number 24, is going to be playing at number 17 Pitt. Who you got, Bill?
I am going to go, as much as I think the SEC is a superior football conference, which I think anybody who understands football would. I think Tennessee is way overrated. Sorry, Tennessee, Tim Hill. If you're listening, I'm going to go with the Panther. I'm going to go with the Pitt Panther. What about you?
All right. I am going to go Tennessee on that because I think that the SEC tends to be pretty good. So we'll go there. Next up, we have Kentucky, number 20, visiting number 12, Florida.
Yeah, that's an SEC battle. I'm gonna go Gator on that one.
Yeah, I'm backing you up on that one. I doubted Florida last week, and it cost me the week of picks. So I'm going Florida as well. And number 9, Baylor visits number 21, BYU. Who you got?
So the Big 12 is a joke. Okay. I am going with the Mormons on this one. I am absolutely going with BYU.
All right. It's at BYU.
With the upset.
So I think what I'm going to notice, I'm going to try and start noticing a trend with college, is I'm trying to pick the team. And I think that the at piece really plays a big role, especially in college. But I'm going to fight that instinct, and I'm going to pick Baylor this time. And if it doesn't work out, then I'm going to start just picking the home team as I move forward. I'm going to be a week or so and just play. So I'm going Baylor. You got BYU. So now we'll get into the NFL games. Now this one, the first NFL game we're going to pick is actually playing tonight as we record this. So by the time this podcast drops, you will know whether we were right or wrong. So I dig that.
Correct.
So Buffalo, who is, like, it feels like the country's darling in the NFL this year. Buffalo is going to the LA Rams. Bill, who you got?
I am going to align myself with John Norris, and I'm going all in on the Bills on this one to win at SoFi.
Okay. All right. I like it. So I am going to go opposite. We're gonna see some little distinction here, because again, I'm thinking it's at LA, and for whatever reason, I feel like everybody loves the Bills right now, and I think they're really good. But I think LA might look at this and say, "Hey, we're being disrespected. We're the ones who won the Super Bowl." So I'm going LA Rams.
One way or the other, we're going to separate this weekend.
Yeah, that's exactly
I'm
right.
loving this.
Yeah.
All right, Kirby. What's the next game you got?
The next game that you picked, and you're a bastard, is Cleveland at Carolina. So Baker Mayfield.
I picked. Yes.
Go ahead. Baker Mayfield
only because
going against his former team. Yes, I'm sorry, I keep interrupting
you. No, it's fine.
All right, go ahead.
So Baker Mayfield, now quarterback of the Carolina Panthers, going against the Cleveland Browns, his former team, in Carolina, in Charlotte. Kirby, I'm going to ride that Panther all the way to a sweet victory. Go Baker Mayfield. Sorry, Josh.
If I pick Carolina, Josh Robbins is going to have a mental breakdown.
He's already had one. He's been a Cleveland Browns fan for decades. Trust me.
You know what? Okay, so here's what I would say. And this is
Yep.
me justifying this to myself. I am a
Okay.
Cleveland Browns fan, for those who don't know. We've got Jacoby Brissett, which I'm super not excited
Yep.
about. But I do think,
Super.
other than the quarterbacks, I think that Cleveland has a better roster than Carolina, and I'm going to ride that because they've got a great running game and all that sort of thing. So I'm
Okay.
picking Cleveland.
I do think Myles Garrett will destroy Baker Mayfield in the backfield a few times, which I think will be funny.
Yeah. So I let's put it this way: I will be watching that game. All right. Final
Okay,
game we're picking
Cleveland.
this
Yep.
week is going to be Tampa Bay at Dallas. Now, this was one that I
Yeah,
struggled with, and so I'm curious to know where you're going to lean on this one.
I have been a fan of the Dallas Cowboys since 1977 or so, like true fan. I lived in Dallas. I grew up in Dallas. I know what that franchise means to that city. I know what it means to me. And that's why I feel very confident in saying Tampa Bay is going to put one hell of a beat down on the Dallas Cowboys Sunday night. I pick the Buccaneers all day long. Dallas has a good defense, and they're going to get to Tom Brady. The offense is very questionable. The offensive line in Dallas is very questionable. So I think the Bucks. I don't think it's gonna be a beat down. I think the Bucks win pretty handily.
Yeah, I actually think both these teams have some really interesting flaws at the beginning of the season. We're going to learn a lot because Tampa Bay's offensive line is really a struggle right now too. They've lost quite a bit of people. Tom, who is laser focused his whole career, missed 11 days of training camp that most people, we still don't know exactly why. This one's a struggle for me. I'm picking Tampa Bay because I trust Tom
Okay.
over Dak. I think
Yeah.
Dak's a good quarterback too, but I'm going Tampa Bay. But man, that one's a tough one.
Here's the thing: you never really want to go against a pissed off Tom Brady, and he seems pretty pissed off.
Yeah.
So I have no problem with that.
All right,
another
man.
thing real quick reminder for everybody: what we're doing is we're picking games all season long. We're picking 6 every week, and the loser will be donating $100 to PPEF, the Promotional Products Education Foundation. So that's why we're doing this. Plus, it makes it easier for us to prepare for the podcast and look like we're doing something.
That's right. But I am excited about it. It's fun.
I'm super excited about it. Started football season, but I'm also excited that September's here and fall weather's here. And that means we get to dress in some really comfortable clothing. Things like micro fleece, vest, pullovers, and jackets, fully customized sublimated hoodies, and the Untucked collection, all from our good pals over at Blue Generation. You talk about a company that's stable, that understands this industry, been in business for 3 generations. They are truly the apparel intersection of retail and promo. And when it comes to fall gear, they have got it down. So you want to learn more, head over to bluegeneration.com. You're not going to be sorry you did. All right, Kirby, good luck to you this weekend with your football picks, and don't spill any ketchup on your shirt. But if you do, go ahead and resell it.